Hi Taurus, welcome back. Happy Taurus season to you guys. I hope you are having a beautiful season. Let's look to see what are the energies for May, what are the messages for May. This is general, so whatever themes comes through, I'll just flow with it. For Taurus sun signs, moon, and rising. Potentially Taurus Venus as well. If you're new here, welcome. I am Simone, the Moon Goddess. If you are interested in connecting with me for a personal reading, my bookings are open. You can head to themoongoddess.com. 3 S's. That's the only place that I receive bookings for my services. And you can also become a member of the Sacred Circle. So there's a free tier where you'll get updates on when I post a new blog post, and you can be a part of the mailing list. And there's a paid tier, £5.55 for exclusive content. All right, so Taurus, let's get into it. Spirit guides, assist me in connecting to Taurus for the month of May. What are the messages I need to share with Taurus? May all messages be for the highest good of all involved, with harm to none. And the first thing I see is the Fool. There's something y'all contemplating about taking some kind of leap, starting something new. Now we are in Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde officially began yesterday, the 10th. Today is the 11th of May. So now is the time to go inwards, to think, to review, to redo, revamp. Of course, life happens. So if you do have to make decisions during Mercury retrograde, it's just a matter of taking the time to read the fine print, to really go slow. Don't rush into anything. Go slow. If you are able to go slow, do so. All right. And here's the Fool again. So there might be something coming up for you to make some kind of decision on. And it's like taking a leap of faith, really. But if you can, go slow. Cycles seem to be closing off for you guys. All right, Spirit guys, give me some messages for Taurus. Thank you. Give me one more card for Taurus, please. Thank you. Your cards literally jump upside down. You have 2 reverse cards and 1 upright. So the first card is the Hangman. It came out reversed. Now, how interesting that I was saying, it seems as if y'all are ready to take some kind of leap of faith, some kind of jumping into something. And the Hangman came out reverse. Now, upright, it's about slowing down, taking time. Reverse, it's the sense of I'm ready to move. I'm over this hanging around energy. So that's interesting. Your second card is the Ace of Swords. And then you have the 8 of Wands, and it came out reverse. All right, let's see what's your supporting cards. Wow. All right, so your supporting cards, top of the deck, Heart of the Matter, and at the bottom of the deck, you have the King of Swords, 3 of Swords, and the Judgment card, Judgment. Pluto went retrograde a week ago, or maybe more. Pluto's retrograde at the moment. Judgment is a card associated with the planet Pluto. So that's interesting. All right, so Taurus, there's something y'all want to say. There's something y'all want to say. Somebody's hurt you. Something has hurt you. And now there's this opening for communication. So I don't know if it's you approaching somebody about discussing something in May, or somebody's approaching you, but there is this opening for communication regarding a heartache of some sort. You have the Ace of Swords and the 3 of Swords, one on top of the other. I don't know if ego is the word, but it's like y'all running away from sitting with it, sitting with the feelings, connecting to how you feel. It's a sense of I don't want to sit with this. I don't want to feel this. I don't want to think about this inside. I want to get it out. I want to speak. I want to be heard. But the thing is, in order for you to move forward with this situation, to heal, to grow from this situation, it means that you need to go inward. The work has to happen on the inside. It's a spiritual healing that has to happen. Remember, I always say everything starts from the spirit and it moves into the physical. You can't put the cart before the horse. Retrogrades are the time to go inwards. So if you keep fighting that, it only makes this more difficult for you. The resurrection, the healing, the feeling uplifted, feeling like yourself again, feeling renewed comes from the inner work, or finding a balance between the inner work and expressing yourself. Perhaps it's not necessarily you speaking to that person. Maybe it's about you expressing those feelings through a creative medium, writing, journaling, poetry, painting, right? Fashion, expressing it through your appearance. All right, let's see what's your word of advice. And under this Judgment card is the Magician. So there's this real, and then the World, and then, wow, major card after major card after major card. Judgment, the Magician, the World, the Star. Taurus, y'all, this is, and it's interesting because Mercury retrograde is in Gemini and Taurus. It's moving through those signs, it's moving through your signs. So there's a big spotlight on you at the moment. I feel like a lot of what you're experiencing now is this real spiritual, it's like, you know, there's this big neon sign, like this arrow pointing at something in your life that's like, pay attention to this. What needs to be healed? What needs to be looked at? What are you running away from? What are you suppressing? It's like you need to be honest with yourself. You need to be honest with your pain, with your trauma. Not your pain, not you. With the pain, with the trauma. Because I don't want, I personally don't like to make it mine, you know? I don't like to hold on to it and be like, well, this is mine, so let me like I hope it makes sense. It's pain and it's trauma, but I don't want to make it mine. I don't know any other way to say it. I hope that this makes sense to you. All right, let's see. What's the word of advice for Taurus? Let's see. Reverse card again. And I love this. You got the 10 of Wands and it came out reverse. Drop the weight. Drop the weight. What are you being shown? What is coming up for you to release? What are you avoiding? What are you trying to put logic on? What are you trying to deal with in a logical way when you should be dealing with your emotions, with your spiritual self, with your feeling self? What have you been suppressing? What needs to be released? You have the 8, wow, this is, well, I'm now looking at these cards, the 8 of Cups and the Knight of Swords. So what do you need to release? What do you need to walk away from? Walk away from, move away from. And I feel like a massive part of everything here for you is communication, not necessarily communicating outside of yourself, as in communicating with another. It might be that for some of you, there's a need to have a conversation. But for some of you, it might be that you need to express yourself through another medium. Not necessarily with another person. Think big. right? Think big. Think outside of any box that you might have put yourself in. What are you being shown? What are you being asked to look at? Do you keep like, no, don't want to, nope, don't want to feel it, don't want to think about it? Let me just put this in a little box. What's the final message here for Taurus? Give me one more. Wow. Right now we have the sun at the bottom. What are you being shown? What's being illuminated? And when you free yourself, there's this potential for so much growth. The metamorphosis could be grand here for you. You have the Four of Swords as your final message and the Temperance card. Go inwards. Take time for yourself. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with the feelings you have, the experiences you're working through, that you're having. Be patient with others. Find a nice balance between your spiritual and your physical worlds. That's how you get your grounding. It's not the time to just... And I feel like the fool with leaping over a cliff wasn't necessarily about you starting something new. It was almost as if you wanted to jump, like, oh yeah, let me go the opposite direction. Pain, trauma, hurt, feelings, emotions, I'm going that way. Let me jump over the cliff into distraction. Let me jump over the cliff into work. Let me focus my energy somewhere else. Maybe that's what the Fool card was all about, based on what I'm seeing here now. Yeah, sit with it. Sit with your feelings. Let's get some Moon cards. The end of a tough cycle approaches is what I'm seeing. First thing. Need some cards for Taurus spirit guides. Oops, sorry if that was loud. And I just saw work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio, which is the sign opposite you. Scorpio and Taurus are sister signs. What's the message for Taurus, please? Anything else for Taurus? Ha! Taurus. Whenever I see cards, I know that it's part of the story. The first card is belief in the impossible. Blue moon. Your second card is what do you need to release? Waning moon. And your third card is the end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. Right? I know when my eyes land on a card, that's part of the message. Forgive me if I'm stumbling all over my words. Mercury retrograde tends to do this to me. Yeah, so we have it's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio, so there's your sister sign again. Work through your fears, and it's time to release negativity. Bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. And sometimes this is, you know, it's not necessarily that you love the person who's hurt you, as in, you know, the way how we perceive love. It's loving yourself, having compassion, understanding that people who hurt tend to be hurt as well. And, you know, forgiveness and moving from a place of love is for you. It's for you to release yourself from the binding and the being bound in heavy energies, being bound to the situation and to the person by holding on to it, by being resentful of it, by hating. Right? You know, they say there's the opposite of love is indifference. It's not hate, it's indifference. So if you hate, there's still that you're still invested in it. So you actually calling in more if you hold on and you grip and you don't forgive. Let's see, at the heart for you is expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. Wow, and we just had a new moon eclipse. and the second, which was in Taurus. And the second part will be a full moon eclipse in Scorpio on the 15th or 16th, depending on where you are. So perhaps the eclipse really kicked off a lot of this, and not necessarily just Mercury retrograde. There's a lot happening. We're in the midst of eclipse energy as well. All right, let's see what else comes through for you. All right, let's see. Let's see other messages for Taurus. All right, so it says let go. What do you need to release and let go? Taurus is shouting now. They're shouting. And the thing is, with the Ace of Swords as well, the Ace of Swords also represents strength, stamina. So where you feel at times that the heaviness that you might be experiencing, the heartache, the resentment, the anger, etc., is overwhelming you, that's when you don't fight that feeling. What is it showing you? Really, really feel what you feel and go into it. What is it showing you? Where are you gripping in your body? How can you release? What can you do to move that energy? Maybe it's nothing that you can do. Maybe it's moving your body. Maybe it's yoga. Maybe it's dancing. Maybe it's being creative. Maybe it's voice notes, not necessarily to share with another, but getting it off your chest. Maybe it's just taking a nap. Maybe it's going for a walk. But there's this sense of gripping that you need to just let go. Communicate clearly is at the bottom. That's interesting. Mercury retrograde, communicate clearly. You have within the next few weeks. And at the heart is unlikely. I hate this card so much. I'm like, what does that mean? Unlikely what? What's unlikely? All right, so I see improving health, unlikely, and forgiveness. So the way how I'm seeing it is, if you don't let go, if you don't forgive, for you, not for the other person, forgiveness is for you. Your health improving is unlikely because that stress, it's heaviness, it's binding. Oftentimes we get ill through anger. It hurts us more than it hurts the other person. Let me get one final card for you and then we'll wrap up your reading. And I'm now saying make a note of it. So journaling is a big thing for you. Communicate clearly. Praying is also a massive part of your healing. Praying, meditation. Let go. Again. Wow. All right, Taurus. And I said meditation. Meditate just showed up. What's the message for Taurus spirit, guys? What's their final message? What's the final message for Taurus? Okay. So we have clear the past and be generous. Clear the past. Release. What do you need to release? What do you need to let go? And be generous. And for me, being generous with compassion, being generous with patience, being generous with love, being generous with compassion. Did I say that already? I don't remember. And not necessarily only for the other person, but with yourself as well. Not judging how you feel, not judging yourself in any way, you know. You feel what you feel, and that's what it is. But what is it showing you is the question. Bottom is share a breath. So if you do have a communication with another person and it feels like the energy is very much up here and it's hot, right? What you can do is you sit with that person and you do breathing exercises together. Y'all inhale, exhale at the same time, on the same flow. And when you feel that the energy has calmed down, it's cooled, and you're all on the same wavelength, then you have your conversation. Let's see. Stay in your own skin. All right. So you can empathize with another person. You can have compassion for another person. You can be happy for somebody else's experiences, but you stay in your own body. Don't enmesh with another person, right? You can help people through their situations, through their issues. You can talk to people when they're in need, but you don't have to be in them. You don't have to be in their energy. You don't have to embody their feelings and their emotions and their stress and all that. You have to stay in your own body. All right. And at the heart it's a team effort, plug and socket. So you're not in this by yourself. Like I was saying, praying, right? Praying. You're talking to your spirit team. You're talking to your benevolent ancestors, your Most High, whatever your belief system is. Just know that you are not in this alone. Never. You have friends, family, a friend, an angel, whatever, your higher self. Underneath, it's a team effort. It's clear the path. So you have clear the past and clear the path, right? So you're clearing the past so you can make space for new energy to flow in. Taurus, that's your message. As always, I hope these messages support you. Take a breath, and then another breath, and another breath, and another breath. That's all we have. That's all we really have, and that's the most valuable thing that we have, the breath. All right, so until your next message, be well. Take care. Bye.